My wife Patty and I, we have a daughter, a child with disability, and Chelsea is our only child. Chelsea was 2 pounds 5 ounces at birth. She's a surviving twin. Chelsea has cerebral palsy, and she has a hearing impairment. And we've raised Chelsea in the church and in a Christian home. And she's 23 years old now. She's accepted Christ, and she still faces challenges every day. But we're really proud of the Christian woman that she's become. You know, when you're parents of a child with disabilities, we've fought some real hard battles over the years and made some tough decisions. And there's no question that God has steered our ship in some troubling times. And when you see God answering prayers and opening and closing doors for the good of your family, it's almost easy to become complacent or satisfied that I must be where I need to be in my walk with Christ. Why else would He show that favor to me and my family if He wasn't happy with me? And in hindsight, I think I'd gotten to that place where I was complacent, satisfied, maybe even content with my relationship and my walk. So when I heard about the journey, I thought, you know, the journey is going to be a good thing for that guy that's on the fence and he's not sure where he's at in his walk and he needs a little poke and a little direction, and it's going to be a good thing for that guy, not me, but for that guy. But as I heard about the journey and kind of the excitement was building around that, and there was a journey group forming at our church, I thought, you know, I'll give it a try. And almost immediately, as we began the journey, I realized there was so much more to my walk with Christ that I was not allowing myself to experience. I played some college football, and in the spring was primarily conditioning. You're coming out of fall ball and you think you're in the greatest physical condition of your life, and frankly you are. And you go into these spring drills and first thing you know, there's you and 54 other athletes laying on the floor, gasping for air and crying like little girls. And what that teaches you is no matter how good a physical condition you are, there's always room for more. There's always room to tear down a personal barrier and go to the next level. And I say that because of the parallel I saw on the journey, that no matter where you are in your spiritual condition, there's always room for more. There's room to tear down that personal barrier and go to the next level in your walk with Christ. And I began to experience that in the early part of the journey. And as we progress through the journey and we're getting deeper into literature and deeper into scripture, and you're with these other Christian men from your church, and you're divulging things about yourself and them to you, and you're growing in this experience, and it was such an exciting journey. And I remember one evening, the facilitator of our journey group, he started talking about this extended prayer time that we were going to be having in the weeks or months ahead. And initially, when he was talking about that, that was a little intimidating to me, because I'm the kind of guy that struggles to stay focused for more than 15 or 20 minutes doing anything. And I couldn't imagine what I could possibly go to God about for 45 minutes or an hour or more that I hadn't already shared with Him or He didn't already know about me. Once again, we continued through the journey, and personal abandonment and this total trust and abiding relationship. And as we came time for that extended prayer time, I was ready. I was ready for that time. And there's something about you going into a room and closing that door and leaving all the world's distractions on the other side of that door, and just clearing your mind, clearing your heart, and getting 100% transparent with God for that one-on-one time. It was the most awesome spiritual experience I've ever had in my life. I was on my knees praying, and things were flowing out of me that I had no clue were in there. These reservations, these frustrations that I'd had as a parent with a child with disabilities, these past sins, things that I'd stuck in the nooks and crannies of my heart and been tiptoeing around for years, I didn't even know were in there. And it all just flowed out of me. And I was literally moved to tears, and I rededicated my life to Christ that night. From that experience, I became a much better husband and a better father. But I think most importantly from that experience, I realized I grew up in the church, and I was a Christian from an early age, and I've seen how He's moved in my life and in the life of my family. But I realized from that experience how self-serving and expecting my prayer life had been up till then. I had not fully appreciated the God that I served and just how powerful he was. And he revealed himself to me that night like he never had before.